Oh my God, guys, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but Cameron is turning 3. We just had the twins' birthday, but you know that they came right after each other, so we are gonna have Cameron's birthday. So in this video, I'm gonna show you Cameron's naked cake tutorial. It's going to be dinosaur themed, and I'm going to attempt, because I've never done it before, to carve a watermelon like a dinosaur. Now, let's hope it works, because I have never done it. So if you don't see it in this video, it didn't work. Happy birthday, Cameron. Let's get the cake started. Okay, so before we get started, there's one disclaimer I want to say. I am not a professional baker. I am not claiming to be a professional baker. I am legit a home baker as a hobby. And I really just want to make sure that my kids always have a special cake that I made, and that's it. So if you're looking for a professional baking tutorial, this is not the video for you. Because I'm sure that there will be imperfections, but this video is really geared for those moms who want to try and make their own cake for their kids, and perfections just make it more beautiful in my opinion. Or at least I'm going with that theme. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do to get started is make the buttercream. It is a very easy buttercream. It is a vanilla almond buttercream, and every time I make it, people rave about it. It's a light and airy buttercream, which is great for this cake because it's nice and spreadable. So let's get baking. The first thing you're going to start with is confectionate sugar. You're going to use 3 cups of confectionate sugar, and you don't have to sift it, but I usually do sift it. I find that it helps the icing just be a little bit more fluffy and smooth. However, you totally can skip this step. You're just going to sift all the sugar, obviously, through a sifter until all the lumps are gone. So shake, shake, shake. Let me ask you guys, I always, like I said, want to make special cakes for my kids, and I always do themes. Do you guys have any special cakes that you've done for your kids? Even if you've bought them or whatever, it doesn't matter. Let me know in the comments below. I'm super curious what everyone's favorite kids' theme is. I really liked how this cake turned out, and you'll see it at the end. The next step is pretty important. You're going to use 2 sticks of butter, but you want it to be room temperature, not melted and mushy and not firm. You definitely want just regular room temperature. I leave it out about half an hour before. I definitely have made the mistake before of trying to do it too fast when butter was still cold and it comes out a little bit granulated. You don't really want that for icing. So room temperature, half an hour before. You're then going to use 1/8 a teaspoon of salt and add it to your mixture. Once you see that properly mixed, start adding in that confectionate sugar little by little until it's all mixed in. Here's where we're going to add the flavor, and you can change the flavor here, guys. So if you just want vanilla, just use vanilla. This is going to be 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. Now, you could do peppermint and vanilla. You could do vanilla. You can do all almond. Whatever it is, it will work as long as you keep that ratio. Here I'm just adding in the very last bit of the confectionate sugar, and I'm scraping the sides. You are going to notice this is going to be a very thick icing. So this is where you're going to thin it out to your liking with milk. If you want the icing more spreadable, you're going to add more milk. For this icing, I wanted it very light and airy, so I did about 3 tablespoons of milk. However, you can always add more. You can't take away. So go slow and just try half a tablespoon at a time or 1 tablespoon at a time until you get your desired consistency for the cake that you need. You totally catch me here taking some icing to taste. And we are about to assemble our cake. So what you're going to do here, I find it the easiest because you're always going to get a puff, is to just take a bread knife or a serrated knife and cut the top off of your cakes. You're going to do this and get all your cakes level to the consistency that you want. For this cake, I have 4 layers, but what I did is use 2 boxes of cake mix, and I used 8-inch cake pans. So it was 4 cake pans, and then I'm just slicing off the top. The next step is getting out some of my aggression from party planning on these Oreos. So I just threw a bunch of Oreos in a bag, and this is going to be the dirt on the top of the cake. I really wish that if I made this cake again, I thought about it, but I really wish I put Oreo in between the layers, which I didn't do and I didn't think about until it was assembled. So if anyone's making this cake, it would be really cute to make sure and do that. Quick tip, after you've cut the top of your cake, it's going to be crumbly. So flip it over and use the bottom side of your cake because that's going to be a tight crumb and you're not going to get all those little pieces when you go to ice it. So like I said, just make sure to flip it over. I do have an icing turntable, which does make this a little easier, but if you don't have it, that's fine. Put it on something that's just easy to turn. It just makes it easier. And don't forget, whatever you put under your cake is staying there. You can't easily slide it out. I used foil so that I could easily rip, and I'll show you how I do that at the end. Right now, we're just going to ice this cake. Remember how I said that there's going to be imperfections in this video? So here is one. I kind of wanted it to look like a mountain, so I kind of tried to cut it slanted, but honestly, it just looks like a lopsided mess. So there we go, my rookie mistake. It's time to do the outside of the cake, but before you do this, it is a lot easier to do this if you put your cake in the refrigerator for about maybe half an hour before you do the icing because it just makes it firmer and it's not as easy to crumble. So I did not do that in this video. I didn't have the time, but if you do have the time, it makes it a lot easier. However, once you have your cake ready to go, you're going to do the sides of the icing and basically cover all of the icing in white so you don't see anything. Once you feel that the side of your cake is adequately iced, you're going to start scraping it off. And this is basically as simple as taking a knife or a cake spatula and scraping icing off the sides until you get your desired effect. Once you're done, you're just going to look around your cake and see if there's any spots that you feel like do need icing more. You scraped off too much, it's really easy to fix. So just patch up those spots and then you're going to take the base away. Foil is easy because it usually tears pretty easily, or you can use parchment paper and cut the circle before you do your cake, and that also works. Here, I'm just taking those crumbled Oreos. I did a rough crumble because I wanted it to look like dirt, and I just start putting it on top of the cake with the dinosaur, and I just wanted to see how it would work. I said I really, even watching this video over, I really wish I put it in between the layers, but it's okay. Honestly, I think it looked great either way. I did end up putting it around the base and on the top, so I think it was cute, and it was a huge hit. So let's just finish this assembling. On to the next adventure. So now that I've redone this, I definitely would do a couple things different. Like I would not use permanent marker because unless you are a pro cutter, you're going to see the marker lines, which you will see later. But anyway, you're going to use some kind of pencil or pen. Pen would probably work just to see your outline. You're going to cut out the mouth and you're going to basically just gouge it out with a knife and a spoon. Just get it all hollow because that's where your fruit is going to go. The next part, you're just going to want to cut a slice off the bottom so that it sits flush on your surface. The next thing that you're going to do is take a sharp knife. You're going to cut kind of like a lip, and then you're going to slice it or shave it. Not cut it, just shave it or peel it, whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to do the teeth. And this is just going to be alternating triangles. And you're just going to push it through, and you'll see it looks so cool how it came out. So even watching this back, I really can't believe I was able to do this. It's a lot easier than it looks. And although it didn't come out perfect, I really love how it came out. And honestly, it was a huge hit at the party. The kids got a total kick out of it. So like I said before, I asked, what was your favorite theme? I've done so many themes for the kids' birthdays, and I think that I really like that campfire theme that I did, and this theme, I really enjoyed it. So guys, tell me what your favorite birthday memory is, or your favorite something. Do you guys go big on birthdays, or do you small? How do you celebrate your birthdays? The next thing that I did is I made the outline for the nose, and I just peeled it out or skinned it or whatever you want to call it. Here's another one of those beautiful imperfections. As you can see, I cut one nostril way bigger than the other, but again, you know, those imperfections. You're going to do the same thing with the eyes. So I basically just cut 2 ovals and skinned 2 eyes. So this next part isn't necessary, but I wanted to make scales for the nose and the eyes, or like eyelids. So you're going to skin the remaining pieces of watermelon that you had, and then this is where the black marks make a big difference. You're basically going to cut slices off the edge, and this is going to depend on how big your watermelon is. Whatever, eyeball it, just take a couple pieces and then try it out before you make your final decisions. Once you figure out what pieces you're going to use, you're just going to attach it with toothpicks. Use as many toothpicks as it needs and just shove it in there with toothpicks. I used a spoon just because it was easier to make sure it was stuck in there. And then I used blueberries for eyes. And guys, I am loving how it came out. Tell me what you think. Totally fine to be honest with me. I never thought I could do it. So I was really happy how it turned out. For how I said you could see those little black marks, here they are. You see them, but you know what? Honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I think it came out awesome. And here is the dessert table. We did M&Ms for dinosaur eggs. We did cup of dirt. Another thing I wish I did is put those eggs inside the cup of dirt, because I think it would have looked so cute as like little eggs sitting on the dirt. Again, something that I thought about when it was too late, but anyway, moving on to the regular dinner table or food table, I just got a hero with salads, and then we have our dinosaur fruit and spinach dip for a dino swamp. Really cute.
To you. Happy Got it?
The day is done. Everyone is asleep. This mama is completely exhausted. But the party went fantastic. Cameron loved every bit of it. The cake was a huge hit. So please let me know if you love this video. The tutorial was really easy. I hope it was easy to follow. And guys, thank you so much for the support. I hope you loved it. We love you. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah! Bye. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe.